Super Welterweight Championship. Fifth ranked in the world with 11 wins, 7 losses, and 11 knockouts. At 5'10", 154 pounds, from Portland, Oregon, 26-year-old Milt Bennett. With 16 wins, 4 losses, 10 knockouts at 5'10", 154 pounds, 20-year-old Billy Chow.
Billy Chow against Milt Bennett. Now, Billy Chow is probably known worldwide, especially in Hong Kong. He's the Hong Kong champ, the Canadian champ, the world champ. He's a movie star in Hong Kong, 16-4 record, 10 knockouts. But he's got a tough one tonight.
He's got a real tough fight. Like you say about Billy, he's often talked about being one of the best all-around fighters in the world, a master of the ring. Got a lot of ring experience. He's fought in Europe, Thailand, Japan, China.
And you know something? The most interesting thing about his record, it's 11-7, which doesn't seem that impressive, but all 11 wins are from knockouts.
That's right.
And he is,
that's right.
Most of those wins came recently, and he said to, that Chow's never been down, and he's looking for him to go down. Chow is not that quick a starter. You think Bennett's really got to come quick?
Well, I think what's going to happen is Bennett is a slugger. He's a real banger. He's going to have to go out and get as much action in the early part of the fight as he possibly can. He's got to outbox Chow. Chow, incidentally, has never been knocked down. He's never taken an 8 count. The gentleman on the camera now is Milt Bennett. 11 wins, 11 by knockout.
He is from Portland, Oregon, 26 years old. Chow only 20, but as a 20-year-old, he has more experience than just about any fighter you'll ever see.
That's really deceiving. He's probably been fighting since he was 4 or 5 years old back in his homeland in Hong Kong, China.
There's Tom Schlesinger again, giving them their instructions. What is legal, what isn't? What's he telling them here?
Well, in this particular fight, the leg kicks are legal. You can kick into the legs. You can't kick, as we saw or have seen in other fights, to the inside of the legs. He wants as clean a fight as possible.
Okay, here we go. 12 rounds for the World's
let's
Super
get a favorite.
Welterweight Championship. Billy Chow in the black shorts against Milt Bennett in the white, I guess you call them warm-up trunks.
Who?
Chow with a good kick to start with. Bennett's trying to get inside again. You'll see Bennett come at him quickly, but this is surprising me. Chow is actually does not look as cold as we anticipated him coming in.
No, I think Chow probably recognized that that's what Bennett wanted to do.
Good kick.
Excellent.
You can tell already the difference between Chow's kicks and most of the other fighters that we've seen in the last year here.
He had some experience in the Orient with what we call the Thai type of kicks, the Thai boxer type kicks. They have such tremendous centrifugal force. He'll swing it around and just bang it into your thighs.
Bennett with a good right that time that snuck in on Chow. He has not been that effective with his kicks. Chow's kicks.
Oh, beautiful over.
Great right that time.
Beautiful overhand right. Billy Chow has been told by his manager to watch for that. That's Bennett's big weapon. There it goes again, that big overhand right. Watch for the overhand
right. Right in front of us, and Chow did manage to pick off 2 of those 3 punches. Some good defensive skill as well.
You watch Chow carefully. I'm sure that he's been coached to keep his chin in, keep it in tight to the chest.
Good left that time again by Bennett. Bennett's starting to get inside a little bit. Now Chow's got to use his legs to try to keep him away.
I'm really surprised to see Chow not tucking that chin in, not keeping his guard up. He's got to get those hands up, and he's got to protect his chin. There's that overhand right.
But again, if you see that kick, if Chow connects on one of those kicks, Bennett's on the floor.
Oh, that's it. That's true.
Bennett again with the good right, and he's starting to get a little red, Chow is, over his right eye, but Chow still looks like he is in command. He looks like he has a purpose here, and Bennett looks like he's a little bit more just trying to come in, burrow his way in, and hope to get lucky early.
Well, I think that's a good analogy. Bennett knows that he's got to take this fight in the first 2-3 rounds. He wants to get ahead. Chow comes on later on.
Good kick. Both fighters have finished with the mandatory kicks. A good combination,
Nice
though,
combination.
by Milt Bennett. Bennett called himself a slugger, and so far we've seen just that. End of the first round, great first round. Could have gone either way, but I'd give the edge to Bennett just for the amount of scoring punches.
Well, I feel that Bennett, that's what he was told to do by his manager. He has got to bring the fight to Chow.
Would you agree that Bennett gets the first?
Yeah, I'll go along with that.
Okay, we give Bennett the first.
I see where Chow's got that welt over his eye. Incidentally, Frank Lee, the gentleman working on him, one of the greatest trainers, I think, in the world today. This is his #1 boy. Now we're going over to the corner of Bennett. I think his manager is simply telling him, let's keep to the fight plan. Don't change it. Keep the pressure on him. Get inside of him. You got that first round. Now keep it up.
Bennett earned himself a shot at the title with a big upset over Canada's Dave McDonald. Was not expected to win that fight and knocked him out.
Everybody was stunned by that, but that's the excitement of kickboxing. Anything can happen.
And you can see that Chow's got some puffiness under and around his left eye, and he's got to really use those legs to keep Bennett away from that eye.
Well, again, I'm sure Frank Lee, his trainer, has told him, stay to the outside of him, use your legs.
Oh, good kick by Chow. Bennett counters with a couple jabs to the face.
Ooh, that one just missed.
Billy Chow just looks like a surgeon with those kicks. Good left that time by Chow.
Really mixing it up on the inside.
Chow's kicks are landing with more precision than Bennett's punches, and I don't think I've ever seen that before. Where
that is unusual. Chow is noted as one of the best all-around fighters in the ring. He can do both.
His kicks have to be taking their toll after a while, and you can see he's been trying to take the legs out away from Milt Bennett.
He's going to try to keep Bennett away from him.
Good kick to the stomach. That doubled Bennett over for a second. Bennett still needs one more kick before this round's over. There it goes.
There's Chow. To the left of the camera.
Good left that time, just grazed the nose.
He's a really deceiving fighter. He when you see him in the street or when you see him walk into the ring, he doesn't look like a prize fighter.
He just took the legs right out from Bennett.
Spinning back fist.
And he left himself open that time. If Bennett had hit with that left, it could have been all for Billy Chow. Bennett, tremendous punching power. Chow, tremendous kicking power, so it's a classic matchup here.
Talking about he's getting hit, I'm sure his manager is upset. He normally tucks that chin. Oh, what a
good right. Bennett countering just magnificently.
I was just saying that what he's got to do is tuck that chin in. Another beautiful left.
And those are getting in, and those are getting in with some force. And Chow is, instead of using the legs to keep him off, is trying to prove that he can box just as well, and that may be a bad move at this point.
Oh, what a beautiful roundhouse kick.
And just as the bell sounds, and Milt Bennett is going to be very grateful that that bell sounded just then.
That hit him. We see him over in his corner. He looks like he's okay. He's sitting down. Out comes the mouthpiece. Yeah, he's smiling. Look at him. He had a little grin on his face when he talked to his manager.
We said if one of those kicks landed, well, you saw exactly what could happen. Billy Chow is just a precision kicker. Now, that doesn't come overnight.
No. As a matter of fact, I had I had a chance to talk to Billy yesterday. I asked him about his martial art background, and he said to the effect, I said, well, what kinds have you taken? He says, 2 kinds, all kinds. He is just an incredibly well-trained fighter in the Orient as well as here. He's only been in Canada now for about the last 9 years.
He's made 3 films, the last one a police film. He said he didn't know what the English translation would be. It's going to be released in Hong Kong for our Hong Kong fans. I'm sure they'll enjoy that. Billy Chow, just a tremendously nice human being.
Yeah, just look at him. He's just a clean-cut looking guy. He just doesn't look like he has that killer instinct, but boy, he sure does.
And he's going to come right on the attack here. Now, Bennett's got to be leery of that kick coming in. He's got to probably be guarding against it, and that's going to open up some other things for Chow.
What I think Billy's going to try to do is to jam those kicks and come over the top. Ooh. He's got 2 choices there. He's either got to get inside of those kicks or he's got to stay outside of the range. There he steps back away from the kick. He'll try to jam it and get to the inside.
Chow now, though, pressing the attack. You see Bennett starting to give ground in the ring, which we didn't see before. And Chow has asserted himself.
That's a warning. That was a low kick. Low roundhouse kick to the groin area, unfortunately.
Chow also bleeding a little bit from the nose. He's going to give Bennett all the time he needs to recover from that. He signals he's ready, and Billy Chow, I'm sure, is going to come right at him again.
What I was trying to explain is that, see how he's ducking away from that? He knows that he either has to stay just to the outside of the range or he's got to move first. If he doesn't move first, Bennett is going to be in trouble. Bennett has got to get inside of that.
And Chow started to make some contact with the punches, and a good kick to the head. And he's wobbly.
Left roundhouse kick up to the head. He's got him hurt. That one missed.
Okay, Chow coming in. Good leg kick. See if he can go in for the kill. He's looking for that big punch or that big kick. Stalking. Good right to the head. He's got him wobbly against the ropes. A left and a right. A great left, a great right. The referee may stop this at any minute. No, but wait a minute. He's coming back. He's coming back. And the crowd's going crazy.
What a fight.
Who would have thought Milt Bennett could have come off the ropes like that?
That's incredible.
Just what I thought Schlesinger might move in to stop it. He took 5 unanswered shots to the head, and now Chow is bleeding.
What a fight. This is what Bennett wanted to do, though. He was told he's got to bring the fight early to Chow. Chow is a late starter.
And Chow appears to be tiring. He missed with the kick and did not get himself back in defensive position, left himself open to Bennett again for that punch.
I think he was going in for the kill on Bennett. It surprised him when he got hit.
And a good left that time by Bennett to Chow's chin. Chow showing some blood from the nose. This round is. What a round. Hard to score that. I would think Billy Chow wins the round, but Milt Bennett has just won the hearts of all these fans, and that's going to help him in the next round.
No question that is bound to pull him along.
Now, did you expect that fight to be stopped any minute when he was right here?
I go along with you. I thought, I looked over at Tom Schlesinger. I thought he was going to move in and perhaps put an end to it.
You're looking at it again. 5 basically unanswered punches against the ropes. And you expect Bennett to either go down any second or the referee to stop in, and all of a sudden he explodes out of the corner. He connects, and not just with one lucky punch, but he had a combination with it.
He put the combination together and said, hey, this is not all over, Billy. You better step back.
You see, Chow's got a cut, it looks like, on the bridge of his nose. He was bleeding from the inside of the nose, which is...
He's puffy. He's puffy around the face, yes.
Okay, this is only the 3rd round. What a fight we've got. The WKA World Super Welterweight Championship. Milt Bennett, the classic puncher. Billy Chow, probably one of the best kickers in the world, if not the best. Now, we have an interesting circumstance developing here. Both fighters a little hesitant to make the first mistake.
That's the whole point.
I think that Milt Bennett earned a lot of respect that last round.
That's what's going on. I'm sure it went on in the corner, and I'm sure it went on when Billy was talked to. In Billy's mind right now, he says, hey, wait a minute, I had a fight plan. It's not going exactly the way that I wanted it to. But you've got to keep in mind, for a kid 20 years old, he's had a lot of... Ooh,
great kick.
Hold it.
Inside.
Inside, no good.
But it was inside because Milt Bennett lifted his left foot up, and Chow's leg went under that and hit the inside.
It would have to be, I think that Schlesinger, of course, noted that as well. It has to be, in the opinion of the official, was not intentional. That can be a shame, though.
Chow, a little more cautious than we've seen. And I'm sure he's going to go for that big kick rather than try to get inside, because when he's gone inside against Bennett, he's taken the worst of it.
He's a little confused at this point. Like I started to say, he's only 20 years old. He's had a lot of ring experience. The fight's not going the way that he thought it was going to go. Right now, I think he's trying to adjust a little.
Bennett's not showing the effects of that kick. We'll have to wait and see. He may be disguising it a little bit.
He's doing a little limp on that left leg. He's limping a little bit on it.
Chow again leading.
Oh, it's still the same leg. Bennett's buckled over. All right, now Billy's going to concentrate on that. There he goes again. He's going to concentrate on that left leg. Look at him. He's going to go for that leg.
And Bennett, on the other hand, changes to a right-handed style, left-handed style to try to keep that leg away from Chow.
Exactly. Bennett took that leg. He knew it was hurt. He switched stances on him.
If we get a shot in the corner, they're rubbing down that leg, and that's all they're going to work on in Milt Bennett's corner is that leg.
Trainers, handlers working on him, indeed. What happened with Bennett is that leg was definitely hurt. He tried to go southpaw. He switched and put his right side forward, and that could have been a big mistake. We just saw it. Billy was trying to come up over the top. You switch on me, I'll nail you. Well, I'll tell you, there's an awful lot of brain work going on in both corners. We just had a look at Bennett. Kirk Jensen is his trainer. He keeps telling him and looking over in the corner. He was pointing at him. He's ready to go.
Watch Bennett's left leg. See if he tries to shield it again. If he's still hurting.
He looks like he's favoring it.
Chow, I'm sure, is going to attack that leg. Here he goes.
Yep.
And Bennett's definitely having trouble even standing up. That leg's got to be in a lot of pain. There's one way to overcome that, adrenaline. Bennett lands a good shot to the head, and he's going to forget all about that leg. And here's that shot. Bennett's
looking to put the pressure on him now.
A good left, a good right, and he's got him on the ropes. Hammered him. Chow to get him way out. There's a mouthpiece on the ground. Chow with a shot inside. Chow with a kick.
There he goes to that leg again. Beautiful uppercut.
Bennett is hurt in that corner, but last time we said that, he almost knocked Chow out.
What a great fight. Excellent fight. Strategies changing back and forth. There he goes for that leg again.
Chow, good left, good right. Bennett looks like he's delirious, but last time we said that, he almost knocked Chow out.
Yeah, he may come out of it. He's trying to move around now. There he goes to that leg again, trying to get Bennett to bring his hands down.
Chow so far remains in complete control right here, looking for that shot. Bennett doesn't seem to have anything left.
He's just reaching down as deep as he can. Bennett is thinking to himself, you know, just how long can I stay up on this left leg? I've got to go for him.
Chow looking for the knockout. Good right by Chow. Good kick to the head. And a left and a right. Even the referee
He's got him hurt. He's got him hurt.
Schlesinger should stop this fight right here. He has no defense left. Absolutely defenseless.
We've been told Chow comes on in the later rounds, and that's true. There he goes to that leg again. Tom Schlesinger, the referee, is taking a good, hard, long look at him.
And Billy Chow's looking for Schlesinger to stop it, and Bennett doesn't want any more at all.
That's a beautiful kick. No, I don't understand it.
Chow again.
You hate to stop the championship of a world fight.
And maybe Bennett will recover a little bit because of the bell in this minute here, but Billy Chow did exactly what he needed to do there. He kept working on the leg. Instead of going for that big knockout and maybe leaving himself open for a wild haymaker from Milt Bennett, he kept hammering at that leg. And, I mean, Bennett's a one-legged fighter at this point. Well,
you know, just to change the subject just briefly, we were talking about the referee and the possibility of him coming in and stopping a fight. I had a brief conversation with Tom Schlesinger last night. His feeling, and I think rightfully so, he's got an inner clock. He knows approximately how much time is left in the round. He says, guy, you know, I really hate to stop a world championship fight unless the guy is really, really hurt.
But you looked at Milt Bennett, he looked at his corner like, hey, this is enough, I don't want any more.
I was almost expecting that towel to come flying across the ring. It is a world championship fight. My guess is that Schlesinger, right in on top of the action, felt that Bennett would be okay.
20-year-old Billy Chow, #1 ranked in the world super welterweight champion, trying to defend his title, and right now with a commanding lead over Milt Bennett out of Portland. Now Bennett's going to be a little bit more psyched up coming out of the corner after the rest. Because of that, Chow's going to go to that leg again, right?
That's right. That's right. Again, Chow has been known as a late starter. At this point, he feels that he has Bennett. He's not going to get greedy. He's not going to try to get him in the first 10 seconds.
He has become a crowd favorite in Reno, Nevada, I'll tell you that.
Oh, yeah.
Billy Chow just missing with a kick that could have ended this fight.
We should point out that the super welterweight championship is vacant at this point. What's going on here is Billy Chow, of course, wants it. Milt Bennett wants it.
Chow with a great kick to the head, but before that, Bennett snuck in a right to that nose of Chow, which is again starting to drip some blood. And Bennett seems to have got his legs back.
To the viewing audience, it looks like Billy Chow's injuries, of course, are those that you can see. Bennett's you can't.
Still a lot of rounds to go. A 12-round fight here, the World Super Welterweight Championship. These fighters earning their money's worth, I'll tell you. Chow, great kick to the leg that time. Bennett looking for that shot inside. Chow, I think, is resting a little this round. Looks like
I think he is. I think he's coasting a little bit, as is Bennett, for that matter. We go back to the early strategy. Stay outside of those kicks if you can. He'll try to jam the kick and come overhand right.
coast at this point when he had Bennett finished off basically in that last round?
Excellent question.
Okay, we'll be back to find out the answer to that question in just a minute. Ready to go, Billy Chow in complete control. Milt Bennett looking for the shot that could put him down. And Bennett seems to have his wind back. Now, Bennett's not used to this altitude, and that could have hurt him in the early rounds, but right now, I'm sure he's already adjusted to it. This takes its toll, especially in the first 2 rounds.
Mentally and physically, a lot of
right by Bennett.
A lot of mental and physical. Oh, what a beautiful right roundhouse kick.
That may be the end right there. That kick and then the 2 punches, another kick to the head, and that's it.
That's it.
That's the fight. It was that kick, a phenomenal kick to the head, followed by 2 punches, another kick.
And a roundhouse kick to the head, 2 punches, and that was it.
Billy Chow, the world WKA super welterweight champion.
Champion of the world.
Billy Chow being held up and congratulated by Frank Lee. Frank Lee's got another champ.
Yes, indeed. Frank has an excellent reputation. He's got another fighter coming up a little later on.
Chow did it with the kick, his strong point. And Don Wilson is in the ring, and we're just about ready to interview the champ if we can get his attention in the corner. Bring him on over. Okay, Don Wilson, take it away with the new champ.
Great fight, great fight. You had some tough rounds there, but I noticed in the second round you started working the legs. Was that part of your strategy?
Yeah, that's what I want. Because I know he got a powerful right hand. That's why I had to work on his leg, make him lose balance, and that go to the head.
I noticed you threw a lot of head kicks after you worked the legs. Did you feel that it worked as far as bringing the hands down, or was he just tired?
Because I know he hurt, and he dropped his hand. That's why I go to his head.
Very good. Well, congratulations on a very impressive victory, Billy. And where do you go from here?
Hey?
What are you going to do from here after this fight?
Movie and fight both.
Movies and fight both. Yeah. Well, you looked real good today, Billy. Congratulations.
Thank you very much, Don.
Another great fight. Back to you, Bruce.
Okay, the world super welterweight champion, Billy Chow, out of Hong Kong and out of Canada, he's international.
He is international here. I think we mentioned he's fought in Europe, in Thailand, Japan, China, Canada, the United States.
And he's getting a good hand. He's going to be very, very popular. If he wants to come back to Reno.
Winner by a knockout, 33 seconds into the 7th round, Billy Chow.
There you go, the new world WKA super welterweight champion. We'll be back from the MGM in just a second.